By drinking from the cup of bitterness and hatred. We must forever conduct our struggle on the right plane of dignity and discipline. We must not allow our creative protest to degenerate into physical violence. Again and again, we must rise to the majestic heights of meeting physical force with soul force. The marvelous new militancy which has engulfed the Negro community must not lead us to distrust all white people. Make the pledge that we shall always march ahead. We cannot turn back. There are those who are asking the devotees of civil rights, when will you be satisfied? You can never be satisfied as long as the Negro is the victim of the unspeakable horrors of police brutality. We can never be satisfied as long as our bodies, heavy with the fatigue of travel, cannot gain larger in the motels of the highways and the hotels of the city. Cannot be satisfied as long as a Negro in Mississippi cannot vote and a Negro in New York believes he has nothing for which to vote. No, no, we cannot be satisfied. And we will not be satisfied until justice grows down like waters and righteousness like a mighty stream. Some of you have come from areas where your quest for freedom left you battered by storms of persecution and staggered by the winds of police brutality. You have been the veterans of created suffering. Continue to work with the faith that unearned suffering is redemptive. Go back to Mississippi. Go back to Alabama. Go back to South Carolina. Go back to Georgia. Go back to Louisiana. Go back to the slums and ghettos of our northern cities, knowing that somehow this situation can and will be changed. Let us not wallow in the valley of despair. I say to you today, my friends, so even though we face the difficulties of today and tomorrow, I still have a dream. It is a dream deeply rooted in the American dream. I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to self-evident that all men are created equal. I have a dream that one day on the red hills of Georgia, the sons of former slaves and the sons of former slave owners will be able to sit down together at the table of brotherhood. I have a dream that one day, even the state of Mississippi, a state sweltering with the heat of injustice, sweltering with the heat of oppression, will be transformed into an oasis of freedom and justice. I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, by the content of their character. I have a dream that one day in Alabama, with this vicious racist, with this governor having the lips dripping with the words of interposition and nullification, one day, right there in Alabama, little black boys and black girls will be able to join hands with little white boys and white girls as sisters and brothers. I have a dream that one day every valley shall be exalted, every hill and mountain shall be made low. The rough places will be made plain, and the crooked places will be made straight. And the glory of the Lord shall be revealed, and all flesh shall see it together. With this faith, we will be able to hew out the mountain of despair, a stone of hope. With this faith, we'll be able to transform the jagged discords of our nation into a beautiful symphony of brotherhood. With this faith, we'll be able to work together, to pray together, to struggle together, to go to jail together, to stand up for freedom together, knowing that we shall be free today. This will be the day when all God's children will be able to sing with a new meaning. My country country, 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty. Of thee I sing, land where my fathers died, land of the Pilgrim's pride. From every mountainside, let freedom ring. And if it is to be a great nation, this must become true. So let freedom ring from the predacious hilltops of New Hampshire. Let freedom ring from the mighty mountains of New York. Let freedom ring from the heightened Alleghenies of Pennsylvania. Let freedom ring from the snow-capped Rockies of Colorado. Let freedom ring from the curvaceous slopes of California. But not only that, let freedom ring from the Stone Mountain of Georgia. Let freedom ring from Lookout Mountain of Tennessee. Let freedom ring from every hill and molehill of Mississippi. From every mountainside, let freedom ring. And when this happens, when we allow freedom to ring, when we let it ring from every village and every hamlet, from every state and every city, we'll be able to speed up that day when all God's children, black men and white men, Jews and Gentiles, Protestants and Catholics, will be able to join hands and sing in the words of the old Negro spiritual. Free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty, we are free at last.
Thank you, Mr. Brody. You did a great job on that. And what a mess we went through. Tremendous struggle. We got to remember all of those individuals who sacrificed so much that we might continue to enjoy life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. It's amazing. It's amazing. We shall overcome someday. Deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday. Let's do that one more time. One more time. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday. Thank you.
Some even consider it scandalous. And for a lot of us, it's something that we find very, very, very hard to do. We struggle a lot with transitioning from moving past what's holding us back in our lives to moving forward to what can propel us to success and victory and contentment. I want to note that this coming Tuesday, March 3rd, is the 19th anniversary of my father's killing. I was 10 years old at the time. And as he was closing his restaurant late at night or early in the morning, he was robbed and gunned down by a young man who obviously didn't know that Roosevelt Myers Sr. had 5 kids at home, that he had a wife who relied heavily on his leadership and his comfort that only a patriarch could provide. Ladies and gentlemen, an offense had occurred on March 3rd, 1996. 6 years later, my mother died, experiencing complications due to diabetes and also suffering a heart attack. I was 16 at the time. Life didn't care that Jacqueline Myers wanted to see her own children grow up and have their own children. Life didn't care that
Take your time, brother. Take your time, son.
That Jacqueline Myers wanted to see those that she loved succeed. And ladies and gentlemen, another offense had occurred. 2 years later, as I became a freshman at the College of Rockport, New York, I recalled being watched several times as I would grocery shop at Wegmans, at Ryan's, and the Dollar General. I recall being pulled over on my own street where I lived by the cops asking if I knew where I was or if I belonged in the area. I recall being called the N-word as I walked past local bars in order to get to my apartment. Despite Rockport being an absolutely wonderful college, other offenses have occurred. And today what I want us to do is really examine ourselves. I want us to take a look at all the offenses that we have incurred in our lives. Everyone here, at some point in your life, has been hurt by someone or hurt by something. And if you have not, give it time, it'll come. And even more shocking, everyone here has more than likely hurt someone else or done something that offended someone, whether we know it or not, or whether we want to acknowledge it or not. And I ask questions: what makes people the way they are? What makes people hate? What makes people hurt each other? Why is life such a pain in the butt sometimes? And we've all heard the saying, and it still rings ever so true today: hurt people, hurt people. And is it that young man's fault who shot my father that he grew up in a household without a father? Is it my mother's fault that because she has a genetic predisposition to diabetes that she died? Is it the young white man's fault who called me the N-word on my way home from class? Is it his fault that he is ignorant when it comes to race and ethnicity? Offenses have occurred, and they will continue to occur. But what I want us to focus on is how do we respond to these things that we all will experience in life. We'll have a choice. You all have a choice. We will continue to have choices as long as we live, as it relates to how we respond to how we are offended in life. I want to encourage everybody here to choose to forgive, to choose to love, to choose to look the other way. It's a very difficult thing to do, but when we do it, we free ourselves from the bondage that other people project on us, that life projects upon us. And we free ourselves and open ourselves up to many endless opportunities and possibilities that we will always have come. But we don't want to pursue those opportunities living in the mindset of yesterday. If we can choose to hate, we can choose to love. If we can choose to cuss someone out, we can choose to bless them. Don't let anyone's inadequacy or poor self-image determine how you look at yourself and how you view your life and how you live your life. Those people that hurt you, they don't really know any better, or they wouldn't have done what they did. And those people that hurt you, they don't know any better, and sometimes they just don't do it. What are you going to do? So why should we make it incumbent upon ourselves to carry the weight of other people's issues? In the Lord's Prayer outlined in the Gospels, part of it says, "Father, forgive us our debts as we forgive others who trespass against us." And when we pray this prayer, what we're actually saying is, God, I want you to forgive me in the same way that I forgive people who hurt me. So if I forgive you, but still I wish ill upon you, I'm putting myself in that predicament, my relationship with the Lord. So there we go. Let's not let anything hold us back from pursuing that which is inside of us, that thing that's great, those talents, that creativity that you have, the ability to affect other people's lives and to encourage them. Let's let that grow. That's just with many situations, many trials, many struggles. They don't come to tear us down, but they come to build us up. They don't come to make us weak and stupid and perplexed, but they come to make us wiser. And it also comes to help us share a testimony, to build someone else's faith, to build someone else's values, and to let that proliferate throughout their own lives. So, whether you have incurred an offense that's derived from discrimination about your appearance or your gender or your accomplishments in life, just get rid of it. Choose to love. Choose to let it go. We all just do it. do me a favor, do ourselves a favor. You can just grab your neighbor next to you. Is anyone next to you? Look at them. When you go back home, if you grew up in a bad home as a child and your parents never told you they loved you, they never respected you, they always criticized you, choose to forgive and give yourself the power. You own the power in that situation when you choose to forgive and you choose to let go. We all want to be free. Free in America, free in our minds, free in our hearts, free in our emotions, free in our spirits. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Here I stand, Lord, my life is in your hands. Lord, I'm longing to see your desires revealed in me. I give myself away. Sing it. I give myself away so you can use me. I give myself away. I give myself away so you can use me. Give myself away so you can use me. I give myself away. I give myself away so you can use me.
Came special delivery by the man of above. I wasn't born at strong, all clean and white. I was born in a manger on Christmas night. My dad wasn't a doctor with a big fine car. He was just a spirit that dwelled in the stars. I was a smart little dude and could hang with the best. At the age of 12, I could pass any test. My life wasn't long, but I was quite fulfilled, for I couldn't change my master's will. I was just 33 when I got the call. I knew it was coming, and I didn't mind at all. My cross was heavy and out of sight to bear, but the guards who drove me just didn't care. We finally made it to the end of the road, where I could put down my heavy load. These dudes had no mercy, as you will see. They took large spikes and nailed them through me. Bleeding and dirty, I hung on the cross. I could hear the crowd saying, "Oh, what a loss." They were just peasants and could not see that through my dying, they would be free. In a dark, cold tomb is where I lay, and on the third day, that stone rolled away. The time had finally come for me to live with my Father in eternity. Heaven bound, I now would ascend, but I promised you all I would come again. I know I'm the baddest dude that ever did live, because only one son did my father give.